Today is a summer morning in Hanoi. I wake up in the rented house where my 2 children and I live. The morning starts very quietly. I brush my teeth. I wash my face. And I do a few small chores around the house. Hello, my name is Thu. I am 35 years old. I am a Vietnamese mother. I have 2 sons. My older son is in 6th grade. My younger son is getting ready to enter 1st grade. My husband often works far away from home because of his job. He is still a part of our family. But here in Hanoi, on most normal days, I am the one who takes care of our 2 children. Right now, my children and I are living in a 3-story rented house. The rent is 10 million Vietnamese dong per month. That is about 400 US dollars. Living in central Hanoi is not cheap. There is rent, food, school costs, transportation, and many other small expenses. So I have to learn how to save money every day. Not because I want to complain, but because I want my family life to stay stable. My mornings usually begin with very small things. Cleaning the house, putting things back in place, watering a few plants, and doing a little housework. Nobody pays me for these things, but they help our home start the day in a cleaner and calmer way. It is summer now. My children do not have to go to school early, but a Mother's Day still starts early. I still have to go to work. I still have to think about meals. I still have to think about my job. And I still have to think about my children. My current job pays about 25,000 Vietnamese dong per hour. That is about 1 US dollar. It is not much. But this job helps me stay close to my children. And for me, at this time in my life, that is very important. After getting ready, I go to the shop. My workplace is not too far from where my children and I live. This distance is one big reason why I chose this job. If I worked farther away, maybe I could earn more money. But I would also be further from my children. During the school year, working close to home makes it easier for me to take them to school and pick them up. And during summer, when the children stay home more, it helps me feel a little more at ease. Before starting work, I eat breakfast quickly. Today, my breakfast is very simple. Just a sweet potato and 1 boiled egg. This breakfast costs about 10,000 Vietnamese dong, around 40 cents. Nothing fancy, but it is simple enough, fast enough, and enough to give me energy for the morning. In Hanoi, if you do not pay attention to small expenses, each day can cost more than you think. So I often choose simple meals, not because I want to complain, but because for a small family, knowing how to count every small expense is one way to keep life stable. After breakfast, I start working. My job is to answer customers about uniform t-shirts. Some customers ask about sizes, some ask about colors, some ask about the fabric. Some need a price quote. And some customers ask many questions, but they may not order in the end. I still have to answer clearly and patiently because I understand. Before buying something, people need clear information. On my work desk, there is usually my phone, an order notebook, a pen, a laptop, and a few sample shirts. From the outside, these are just normal t-shirts, but for every order, every detail has to be right. The color has to be right. The size has to be right. The quantity has to be right. If I answer one small detail wrong, the customer may have to wait longer. So I usually check the sample shirts again. I measure the shirt. I check the collar. I fold the shirt. I write notes in my notebook, and only after that, I reply to the customer. Sometimes my job is just sitting in one place, repeating many small tasks. But I am not ashamed of that. This is not a high-paying job. Every hour, I earn about 25,000 Vietnamese dong, around $1. But this is honest work. It gives me income. It keeps me close to home, close to my children, and it gives me a little more flexibility when my family needs me. For a mother, sometimes distance is just as important as salary. For some orders, I cannot check everything only through my phone. After replying to customers at my desk, I have to go to the warehouse. I need to see the products directly. In the warehouse, each shelf usually has one type of shirt or one different color. There are white shirts, blue shirts, beige shirts, red shirts, yellow shirts, and many other colors. From the outside, they are just stacks of shirts packed in plastic bags. But for my work, every stack of shirts needs to be checked again. Customers may ask, "Is this color still available? Do you still have enough of this size? Can we get the full quantity today?" Before I answer, I have to check. I take the shirts from the shelf. I compare them with my notes. I check the color again. I check the size. I count the quantity. Then I put them aside for each order. These things may look small, but if I choose the wrong color, the customer will have to wait. If I choose the wrong size, the person wearing it will not be able to use it. If the quantity is not enough, the whole order can be affected. So I try to do everything very carefully. Even a small order needs to be done right. Sometimes this work feels repetitive, but through that repetition, I learn to be more patient, to check more carefully, to write things down more clearly, and to answer customers with more confidence. I know this is not a big job, but it is one part of what helps my family stay stable every day. When my husband works far away from home, I need a job that gives me income, but is also not too far from my children. For me at this time in my life, that is very important. At noon, I go to lunch with a few coworkers. Today's lunch is a simple local rice meal. There is stir-fried bitter melon, braised pork and eggs, fried tofu, grilled pork wrapped in betel leaves. There are also pickled eggplants, fish sauce, and free vegetable soup. A meal like this costs 30 Musan Vietnamese dong, About $1.20. In Hanoi, this is a very common lunch for many working people. It is not a fancy restaurant. It is not a special meal. Just a simple local rice shop, a small table, and a few coworkers sitting together. After a whole morning of replying to customers, checking shirts, writing down orders, and going to the warehouse, this lunch helps me pause for a little while. I do not eat for very long, because after this, work still continues. But having a hot meal, sitting with coworkers, and sharing a few small stories makes the workday feel a little lighter. After lunch, I go back to work for a little while. Then it is time to finish work. I put my things away. I clean my desk, and I prepare my bag. For many people, leaving work means the workday is over. But for a mother, it only means another part of the day is about to begin. This afternoon, I go to pick up my son after his basketball class. During summer, children have more time for activities like this. I want my son to move his body, to play, and to have a real summer. But I also have to arrange my time to pick him up and bring him home. Sometimes I ask myself, if I chose a job farther away, with a higher salary, would I still be able to do these things? Maybe it would be harder. So my current job does not pay much, but it helps me stay close to my children. I can finish work and go pick up my son. I can see him after his afternoon class. I can bring him home before it gets too late. That does not show up as money, but it gives me peace of mind. Tonight, my children and I visit one of my husband's relatives. Today is his birthday. In Vietnam, occasions like birthdays, death anniversaries, Lunar New Year, or even a simple family meal are often times when children and relatives come back to visit each other. It does not have to be a big party. Sometimes all we need is a family meal, a small birthday cake, a few wishes for good health, and the laughter of people we love. My husband often works far away from home, but I still want my children to stay connected with their father's side of the family. I want them to understand that family is a place where people can return after long days out in the world. Some things cannot be measured by money. Family love is one of them. After the birthday dinner, it was already darker outside. We could have gone straight home, but today I took my two children to eat tofu pudding. This is a very familiar sweet dessert in Vietnam. It is not expensive, it is not fancy. Just a small bowl, soft, cool, and light after a long day. Sometimes children do not need anything big. They just need their mother to take them out for something they like. They just need to sit a little longer under the evening lights. Just a small moment before going home. I watched my children eat, and I felt like this day slowed down a little. In the morning, I started with small chores inside the rented house where my children and I live. During the day, I went to work. I ate a simple breakfast. I replied to customers. I folded shirts. I checked stock in the warehouse. At noon, I ate a simple local rice meal with my coworkers. In the afternoon, I picked up my son after his basketball class. In the evening, my children and I visited my husband's relatives for a birthday dinner. And finally, we sat here, in front of these small bowls of tofu pudding. A day like this may feel very normal to many people, but for me, it was a day with enough tiredness, enough pressure, and also enough love. Work can make me tired. Money can make me think a lot. Life in Hanoi is not always easy, but after work, when I can see my children, when I can take them out for a simple evening dessert, when I can walk with them on a small street, I feel like I have more strength to keep going. Some joys do not need to be big. Some happiness does not need to be expensive. Sometimes it is just a small bowl of tofu pudding, a child's smile, a short walk home together, and the feeling that, after all the pressure outside, I still have a place to return to. I think family is what makes people stronger. Not because family makes life free from problems, but because when family is beside us, we have more reasons to keep trying. Today, I did not earn a lot of money. I also did not do anything great. But I went to work. I took care of my children. I saved money from small meals. I brought my children to meet their relatives on their father's side. And I ended this day with a peaceful moment beside my two children. For me, that is enough. Thank you for spending your time with me in an ordinary day in Hanoi. In your country, what gives you strength after a tiring day?